where the magnolias bloom so late. A child stands alone in fear, wishing someone would hold them near. Through the bridges of Georgia's care, they're reaching out but life ain't fair. Isolation's heavy on their heart, praying for a brand new start. Child protectors on the line, Georgia's foster, let love shine. I see peace, he send them far and wide, across the borders where they divide. Families waiting with open arms to shield them from all worldly harms. Through the bridges of Georgia's care, they're reaching out but life ain't fair. Isolation's heavy on their heart, praying for a brand new start. Child protectors on the line, Georgia's foster, let love shine. Oh, Georgia's foster, let love shine. Though the journey's tough, the road is long, singing out this hopeful song. Every child deserves a chance to find their home, their love, their dance. No more darkness, no more tears, just a future free from fears. With each step they grow so strong, in a place where they belong. Through the bridges of Georgia's care, they're reaching out but life ain't fair. Isolation's heavy on their heart, praying for a brand new start. Child protectors on the line, Georgia's foster, let love shine. Love shine. Oh, Georgia's foster, let love shine. Love shine. Oh, Georgia's foster, let love shine. In the shadow of the peach state, where the magnolias bloom so late, a child stands alone in fear, wishing someone would hold them near. Through the bridges of Georgia's care, they're reaching out but life ain't fair. Isolation's heavy on their heart, praying for a brand new start. Child protectors on the line, Georgia's foster, let love shine.
Hello everyone, I'm trying to figure out this music thing. Oh my goodness. Alright, so it's not working. It's just embarrassing. Hold on y'all, I'm sorry. I don't know what's music. So alright, so let's hope that fixes it. How is everyone doing? I hope everyone's doing good. Can y'all hear me? Let me ask. So, Happy New Year. Hey Tammy, welcome in. Hello Chris. Welcome in everyone. Can y'all hear me? The screen's kinda messed up. Let's see. Sorry y'all. So how's everyone's New Year going so far? So we got anybody with any news since the last time we all were chilling together? I want to make sure. Let's see if y'all can hear me all right. Because can y'all? So you hold on, y'all. Look, I've got a new. Okay, so you did see your son, Chris. How did that go for you? see. Okay, so thank you, Tammy. Thank you. I guess I'm lagging. I gotta be. So Chris, back to I saw where Chris said that got to see her son yesterday. How did that go for you? That's awesome. Is that like the first time in a while? How long has it been? Do you get to see him often? Well, that's a blessing. That's awesome. That's good news. So we're starting 2025 off with thank you, Tammy. Y'all, I was gonna share some video clips from some video. I went back on some of the podcasts that me and Carrie did together, and I mean it wasn't many, but it was like, "Hi, Joe. Is it bad? Let's try this." Hold on. Okay, so am I sounding? I bet you it's my Bluetooth. This is a test run. Sorry, y'all. Hold on. Take it off Bluetooth. Let me know if this is better. Let me know if this is better. Does that sound better at all? Oops. Does that sound better? So you get to see him every week? That's awesome. I don't know if y'all can hear me now. Y'all, this is is that any better? And Chris, I know that's really hard with that, with like when it's time to say goodbye and it's crackling. Okay. It's got my connection. Oh Lord. Okay. So it is better, you said? Or it's still crackling? Okay, so yeah, because when you go on these visits, I mean, and it's hard seeing like and anybody that's dealing with CPS. I know, and we made it through the holidays, and I know a lot of us. We please keep these families in your prayers, in your thoughts and prayers each day. That it's kind of skipping. Yeah, it's got to be lagging. It's got to be. I think my internet's acting up. They've been having a lot of problems, and they're supposed to be out here to fix it, but or it could be my computer too. Yeah, you would think I'd be better, way better, but I had a very like hectic week and week, and so I'm still learning this restream thing. I think I've gotten better, but I'm back to what we're saying. So I've read and back like to Chris this, and hi Joe, how are you? Thank you for joining us. I know we were supposed to be streaming on Twitch, YouTube, on like 3 different channels, I believe, and then I know TikTok, and there's a couple of other ones. I know we've been on LinkedIn, so we're getting out there. Like people are hearing us, and so let's get these other parents to like other stories come out. Foster children. I will have some guests on my show probably later on this week or next week, and I'll have someone that was in that come on when the January 6th, somebody from that with Trump, that they will come on the show because they was dealing with CPS, this gentleman, and he got he was fighting with Georgia for his daughter back, and he did get her back, and he was a single father. So it's a plus hearing these positive stories. So don't think that there's no hope. There's a lot of hope. And I have a feeling that 2020, I know 2025 is going to be a game changer, y'all. It's going to be way better than it's ever been. Like, because just in a matter of last year, 3 months, I would say 3 months, there was so much in the news, and I'm talking, and like just changes that were being made, and in input, insight, oversight that was being set, like publicized to us, to like, and it was more than just a notification. It was actually, it was them letting us know, hey, we do see this, but we just wish it would happen quicker and more. Like, there are some states that I do know. Oh wow, really, Brenda? Wow. Yeah, I do know that. I don't know if it was last week, but TikTok did, they ended the live on one of the, I think it was one of my shows, I believe, and misinformation, which I don't believe that, but you know how their third parties are, their security things. So I'm sorry that they felt that way, but I mean, we're just speaking out for something that needs to be spoken out about, that needs to be brought to the light, so that sucks, Brenda, but just keep talking, they can sense. So Chris, do you mind if I share this? So Chris says, so Chris went to visit her son. Oh, and let me go read your message. So when he went upstairs, oh, bless his heart, he didn't want to leave. So he didn't want to leave you. And then he went upstairs. He said, Gracie, name it, make my mom. And oh, me, right, Brenda, you're correct. It's our own, and that's gonna come in here. We only got like 19 days, and it's gonna change. I believe it's gonna, like, he's not gonna make America great again. That's what I did see a TikTok video the other day, and it had the future President Trump on there, and he was talking about how it's like he's here, he's going to protect us, going to stand up for us, and and that's what I believe that that's what they take on. I understand that that's their career, that's their life, that's what they choose to do in their lives, because each one of us has our own choices to make, and I can't, you know, uh, it's all, I was reading. Let's see, how can I put this? There's in everywhere you go, there's going to be bad apples, and it sucks that it has to be in the ones that we not look up to, but that we would think stand up for what is right for the best interest of us in general, of we the people, So, like, why are children? That's my big question to all these, the ones in the other that hold these positions. Why the kids? We talk about the stuff going on in Ukraine. We talk about the everything else, China, whatnot. But why our children? These are our own children over in our land right here in America, in the United States, and these are our kids. It is. Hold on. Again, it's messed up. It's got to be my internet. I think my brother is playing his Xbox. It's not. It's fine. It's just like I'm gonna have to update. Is that better? Is that better? My sound is gonna. Yeah. You know what? If I'm so next time I'm gonna have to use my telephone. Yeah. It's my connection. Yeah. Is that better, y'all? Sorry, y'all. Okay. So what I was saying was about, let me turn that, get off. Maybe I need to hook up, because the internet, it may go in and out, y'all. I'm sorry. Just, okay. So it may go out again. I think it's either my head. I mean, I love this headset, but I think it's my connection, honestly. So just let me know if it does. And if we'll count how many times it does. We'll have to probably upgrade the internet or just get a new computer, because my laptop may be messing up. So back to what we were talking about. The big question is, I was thinking about the live that the other night with Gunner. I believe it was Darren. I mean, the Punisher, me, Darren. I mean, of course, that's the same person. Gunner, Denny, Herbert, I believe Herbert was on there as well. And we were all talking about like who has the authority to question, or like a law enforcement officer will interrogate a person and they can lie. I don't know if y'all were in that live with us that night. It was like a debate, and and Darren brought up a good point, because who has the authority? Do they have? And I was looking at and looking into things, and they don't, because even in certain situations, what if there's already a, like, say if you have if you're going through a divorce or whatnot, and you have a custody agreement already in place, and something happens. This is just a scenario. If something happens to one of the parents, and they are no longer, they may have got sick or something and become what they call incapacitated, which means like they are not mentally, or they could be. Right, they do think they're above, Brenda, and very much so. And like, and I was thinking about the cases like that. What if there's an order already in place, and if something was to happen, say if the two parents were in a custody agreement, and CPS has never been involved or whatnot, and all of a sudden something happens just unexpectedly. Well, wouldn't you think that, I mean, it's all up to the provisions of what's in that court order, usually custody order, but that custody or whatever that the court order says is in effect until, and I learned in some cases they can be still in effect till that child's 18, or until it goes back to court, which I think I said that wrong. It all depends on the scenario, but I'm just saying this is just a scenario I'm trying to play out here. So what if CPS, and then CPS butts in and they put their noses in it, and all of a sudden they take the kid and they place it with somebody else. But what about the parent, the surviving parent, or the other parent that is? Wouldn't you think that, I don't know if anybody's ever dealt with this before, but wouldn't you think that there would be an emergency hearing? And what do they consider an emergency? Like, in my eyes, in my opinion, an emergency would be something within 24 hours. Like, say if something happened on a Saturday, I would say Monday morning, be right back up at that courthouse and for an emergency hearing. In my opinion, that's an emergency. Instantly, like, sudden. I mean, it's there. I mean, even if you get arrested, usually within 72 hours you have a first hearing. Your first hearing. So I don't understand, first appearance, I think they call it. But I don't understand how, when they, like, someone was speaking to me and they were talking about they had to have an emergency hearing, and I'm like, okay, well, when we hear emergency, right, 24 hours. And do you know, it's the emergency in the CPS world or family law, or, the courts we deal with when it comes to our children, it was like 2 weeks later. And I'm like, how so much can happen in 2 weeks? So let's just say if there's two parents, divorce, and, it's all going to be up to that order that's in effect already, because usually the other parent should be able to get child no matter what. I mean, they should be automatically. And so for someone to take a child from a home, or CPS to be involved, CPS does not have the authority or to place a child without a court order. They have to get that. They have to have a court order for everything. And they are not doing this. I've saw this a lot and this is when people's cases are fresh, when they're first starting out, like right after, it's right there when you're a preliminary. Okay, that was just about my case, as a matter of fact. That's a good thing. Okay, I just got a text. I'm sorry, y'all. So, and yeah, so 24 hours. So, I mean, you would, and right, Brenda, 24 hours. And I don't know if anybody that has dealt with CPS, like, and that's in the chat. Have y'all, like, with y'all's, for one, did they try to ever remove the kids because of imminent danger? And that, I mean, it's the first, it's kind of like the show, unless that's right. That's correct. You are correct. Yep. 7992. I'm not sure your name. LWYRUP. You are, that is right. And they don't, and the biggest thing that they take, but they're removing these kids and just putting them into foster care without really no investigation, nothing. They're supposed to look into it. They're supposed to find extended family. I mean, what if there is family that is there, and what are we supposed to do? Like, they don't want to listen to these parents. They want to make up their mind because maybe there's not enough food but what is there, right? Pronounce lawyer up. Yeah, but what if and true, but what if it's a poverty family and that don't have money to that sounded wrong, purchase an attorney. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say it like that. To get an attorney, because Lady P, he, at the end of the month, there is something coming up on the 14th, so we're all going to court on the 14th. So it's in the works. It's in the works. It's just paperwork, and they're piddle-footing around. And it's just all. I mean, I don't know if y'all saw the news story that I did with Atlanta News First here in Georgia. They got to. There was no reason for them to send him out of state. So even I just that part, but no, he is coming. It's just they're taking their time. It's something that he should have already been home, and this has been ongoing now for over almost a year. But like, the kinship's even been approved for a while now, for over 10 months, and they still. So, in this whole situation with my son, he's going to share his story. He is so ready. He is so excited, and he's ready to. He told me a year ago, "Mom, make me famous." Well, guess what? Well, he said, "Danielle, make me famous," and here I am. But here I mean, he's help others. Mom, help these kids. I mean, because my son's never been to a facility like he's in right now. He's not a behavioral child. I mean, okay, so I know I'm jumping around to 5 million different subjects. I'm going with the chat. So Lady P asked us, y'all, what's up with your son? Is he home? My son, okay, my story, but I am dealing with Georgia CPS, and my son is in Texas right now in a facility, residential treatment facility. I don't want to talk too much on it, because I want to hey, Vinny, what's up? Welcome in, buddy. So we were talking, so my son, it's in the works. It's just a slow process, Lady P. I mean, I did research, and they say that the average the case with CPS, usually the child is in the system, usually before even being anything, it's 2 years. So, and that's what I think they said. I forgot what the percent was, but it was high. I know it was over 70-80%, which it's crazy. I think it was 84 or 85%. So on the average that they stay, and I got that off the Stand Together site, YouTube. It's Stand Together, and they do a lot of have a lot of impact in with the foster care all over the world, and they do a lot of research. So I do like that. And Lady P, have you ever checked out the Child Welfare Information Gateway? That's another one. These numbers, when I have something going on with CPS, they can't find nothing. Right. They try to fabricate these, which, well, they do fabricate stories. And I'm going to right. Let's see. Let me go back. Okay, so I'm going to read the chat here in a minute. Let me read the chat, everyone. Okay, so Chris So we were talking about, we were lawyering up, and I'm talking about my son and then Vinny. So here's Chris. When I have something going on with CPS, they can't ever find nothing. I know, right? It's like the investigation, when they're supposed to investigate these allegations or whatnot. Why? And it may have been someone that called, or that could have called about a spite, or just to be hurtful. For one, why hurt a child? Why try to break up a family? For two, why start something that, what if, I don't understand anyone that has a heart but why accuse parents of something they did not do? It's like you're guilty before you're even innocent. It's like you automatically have to start pleading your case as soon as you get the knock on your door. It's absolutely crazy. It's and then when they can't find anything, a lot of the times they want to fabricate things. Like, it gets so serious that they will even go on social media. Okay, Facebook is bad about these social workers getting on there and trying to get information to find things out about you. I'll tell you right now, in my case, the social worker hit me up, contacted me through Facebook. That's how they found me. Got in touch with me was through Facebook, from a fake Facebook name. Wasn't even the caseworker's name. And that was at the beginning, and it took them 2 months, almost 2 months. And I'm sitting here on like a wild goose chase, trying to find my son, and and really, I didn't even know that he was where he was, because the family member would not have nothing to do with me. So, but yet, and that goes perfectly with what Chris was just saying. They try to find something, and they found nothing. So, but yet, and let me go to my case in reference. My family member, that this person has my child. Why can't I know that he was there? Why couldn't she let me know? Like, why did she just, why lie? Why lie? And why fabric stories? Because once you file that in the court, it's not good. Wouldn't you think? Like, but they're not being held accountable. That's the thing. Like, Chris, they won't find anything, and they'll fabricate a story, and they file these documents in the courts, but they're not being held liable. They're not being held accountable. And that's what everybody's big question is. Why is it that they can easily get us, when maybe, for instance, there's not enough food in the fridge? I'm sure there's plenty of families out here that times get tough, and there are trust me, I know everyone is struggling at this time, and most of us, I know myself, I can say that, yes, I struggle every day, but that's no reason to break up a happy home. How are you going to come in and just because, but at least my children are happy, the family's happy, and we've been making it this far, so why try to come in, and that's what they failed to do. And so Lady P said, yeah, I went to talk with one of my area hospital social worker. I want to tell her I want to be a supporter for New Month. That's awesome, Lady P. And yes, because and be that voice for what they're not being told. Especially if they like give them a heads up, is what you're saying, like a kind of like a life skills type thing. Like before, like in high school, a class that maybe to prepare us for the real world, like life, because life's gonna do what life's gonna do no matter what. We don't know what's in store day to day, and that's awesome, Lady P, that you want to be that a person that to give them, yeah, to let them know what their rights are in case under the guys wanted to, yeah, because you would support, it'd be a supportive member. Like just a friend, it's just a sponsor or something, somebody they can lean on, and just a support team. That's what's up. That's awesome. So, because when a lot of people don't realize that, have never dealt with CPS and this whole, I did not, hey Debbie, I did not know that CPS was this, and even in my own area, like, wow, I mean, I've been on the, I'm on the, I've, you know, like I've told you, I've been in trouble in my past, but in the same, I've been on probation a long time, guys, a long time. And that I've had to report to this county sometimes it was like at a time point in this, during this time I've been on probation, I had to report in every day, even on the weekends. Okay. So I never ever heard or seen CPS like what I'm seeing behind. It's like going behind the scenes in a movie or something. It's like seeing the real, but this is life. This is reality. This is true. It's really happening. Like, why? These are people that are supposed to be in the best interest of our children. We're supposed to trust them. Foster care, where they go, these foster parents in these facilities are supposed to be a safe haven for these children. I mean, whatever the case may be. And they're supposed to be stay connected with their families, with their world, their communities, and they're not. They're not. Thank you, Vinny. I see that. Thank you. And parents' rights, and it is a constitutional right that you have a fundamental right to raise your child, and to be involved in the decision making and everything. Yes, and you do have a right. I mean, that is your constitutional right. And let's see what 7992 says. Your name is LWYRUP. If you have something, a nickname or something you want to, because I'll just, if it's okay if I call you 992, I'm sorry. If just let me know what you would like me to call you, and I would be more happy to. Cash for Kids, yes, Cash for Kids, foster care, and LWYRP 7992. If you go check out on go type in Google Georgia's foster kids sent a state for services or something, like I can put the link in here if I find, let me find it, but go check that out, and that would, and tell me, and get back with me and tell me what you think about and tell me if that's not because that's my news story that I did on Atlanta News First with Sierra Cummings, and it is like, talk about Cash for Kids, and it's crazy what came out of this whole that news story, and it was something that I would never expect. Like, it was a shocker to me, and it's still, that was aired in March of last year, and because this says January 1st, right? Yeah. So, sorry, y'all. It's gonna take me a minute to remember it's 2025 now, but I will put. Let me see if I can find the link, and I'll get it and put it in the chat here, and go check that out. And that is, it's totally, it's a shocker. I mean, and it's my own case, it's my own scenario, and just the whole way it's crazy. And but if we can't, a lot of us can't lawyer up. I wish we could. Oh, you're lawyer up. Is that that's okay. Oh, sorry, I had a moment. So that's your, okay, I got you. I got you. So lawyer up. All right. So it's lawyer up. I'm so sorry. I was sitting here like saying it all about. So lawyer up. That's the name. This person joined us, and that's awesome. I appreciate you joining us. Thank you. Yeah, I saw that. I see that now, ADP. I'm like, look, that was one of my moments. It went way over. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying that with me, lawyer up. Thank you so much. That's so. Where are you? Okay? So the 14th Amendment against this. Vinny writes, which is tired soul lost in a world. In our chat, he says 14th Amendment against the state's unwarranted usurpation, disregard, and disrespect. Right, or disrespect. And that's you have a right. Yeah, parents and children have a constitutional right not to be interfered upon the familial relationships. You know, and that right there has came up recently in my whole scenario. Oh, are we? Well, did you? Because I know that on the 27th, Vinny, it went out on mine, but I think we're out there because we'll get a lot of yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be banning TikTok, but so if we have in the U.S. Constitution, we have a fundamental right. So is there anything wrote within the states? Because a lot of these cases are getting back when these parents go to appeal their cases, and it's something within the state. Like, it don't even a lot of. I mean, because is there something that? And I'm glad we brought this up. If this is our fundamental right? What case is being heard? And I mean, and now they are, but why weren't they in the past? Like, why so much trauma and so much to go through with all this? Like, and we have rights, yes, and we have freedom of speech. If we have a right to be in our children's educational decisions and until they're 18, some because, like, in my case, my son is an adult, and you do have to file for adult guardianship once that child turns 18. It's a totally different, like, you say if I was getting a family member, like my nephew was in foster care. I'm going to say it like this kind of scenario. And I got guardianship when he was a minor. And then when my nephew was to turn 8, I would have to go, and if his mom or dad, or if somebody else did, before the state does, before the because if there's that should be the last resort for a child in foster care, or in any scenario, is they get custody. The state should not, and I don't think a child should ever have. I don't believe in that, but it does happen that the state does get guardianship and becomes that child's caretaker at the time. And that's just, there's a lot of family out there, and there's people that would love to have and give these children a life, but it's like they have to go through a whole but yet these workers don't. Sometimes they don't even do background checks on them. Honestly, if someone's gonna, I understand, like, they're would see, there's so much room for error in the family law, the child welfare, so much room for error, so much room for mess ups, and it's crazy because they can also go back and say if something happens in the now, but they go try to put back in the past. Like, say if they, and I don't think, there's so much room for error, and it's not right. And that's where, why are they able to do these things? Due process hearings, right? You should be automatically. You're the parent. You should be contacted. The biological parents. They did in my case. Like, they're towards the end. Something just. Let me see what's. I don't even know what I'm doing, honestly. Look, y'all. If somebody's talking to me in the private chat, I have no idea. Sorry, y'all. If there's anybody backstage, I'm sorry. Sorry, y'all. All right, back to my audience. Each state has laws. Yes, they do. They have a state your states do have a state constitution, and there is state laws. But these CPS workers, they want to make their own. Like, in the state of Georgia, we have a child. It's on the ODIS. It's under the Department of Human Services, Division of Family and Children Services. They have a child welfare policy manual that should be like their instruction guide. That should be, I study it because that's the state I'm dealing with, and I'm also dealing with Texas. So, and my question is, when a kid crosses state lines and placed in another state, who has jurisdiction? Who has the authority to make callings on that? Who is the overseer, a person responsible? Who has jurisdiction, for one? What state has who would y'all think, in my situation, it started in Georgia, but my son's placed in a res treatment facility in Texas. Who has jurisdiction? And I'm in Georgia. So you tell me what is y'all's answer?
and if I said that right, because that's these caseworkers in these cases are not saying, oh, my chat's not moving. That's why I can't. Okay. I'm trying to look at a little screen. Okay. So Debbie, I don't want to ignore you. I do see. So the visits are going to be in public, and let's see. So she got to see, that's awesome that she got to see her son. That it won't be in the apartment. Is the apartment, Debbie? Or is it not? Is it the person watching over there? Excuse me, I gotta sneeze. But they told us it would not be. They did that. I got to visit my son one time before they sent him out of state, and they didn't even tell me when they sent him to Texas. It was at a park, like a park, and but that's the day my son, like, I'll share his story soon. So it is in the apartment. Okay. What are they going to do when it rains or something? Like if they have it out and about. Where did I lost the comment? The visits. So the public place, what are they talking about public? Like a park, or, because sometimes a park's not even safe. I know the park that they had chosen for my visit, I'm like, no. And are they are coming, is it in the same area that you live in, or sometimes they send the kid, my son 4 states away, and I gotta get that news story to put in this chat. Federal law trumps state constitutional rights, trump all. Right, Lady P, but they're not. Parents have the right to the care, custody, and control of our children. You're correct. We are correct. And a lot of parents, when our cases first start out, say you get the knock on the door and you don't know your rights. We all had to have been there at one time. Anybody that's involved with CPS has been now I didn't get the knock on my door. Every case is different, yes, but I didn't get the knock at my door, but I still have never dealt or had any doings with CPS, DFCS, DSS, DHS, whatever they call it in your state or wherever your situation's going on. But the average person in the world does not know what, unless they are going through it themselves, or know someone like a close family member or friend that is experiencing it. And the average person does not, unless they hearsay. It's hearsay because they don't talk about it much on the news. It's not talked about. There's so many systematic failures out here in every state, in every county, every city, that it's just absolutely why. Because I can tell you here in Georgia, it's different. It's like this county to that county. It's different. It's not even the whole state. It's just different in each area. They do it like they want to do it. They slip their own little rules and policies and procedures in there. That's not even right. At the end of the day, this is our families. What would they do if they lost? If someone comes in and half of these caseworkers probably don't even have children. They're young. A lot of them are, and the turnover. They talk about, and they're still talking about this. I don't know. I haven't really got to look much more into it yet about the caseworker shortages. I had a caseworker on a platform that she said she was talking about ICPC, and then she goes, Damien, she said, I want to be the voice, and I want to be the caseworker. I want to be the one that lets these parents know what their caseworker is not telling them, what their caseworker should be letting them know, and they're not. And she's like, she wants to be the one that speaks for these parents that are just out there on a wild goose chase trying to figure out their own cases and chasing their tail, when I'm figuratively speaking, but they and they're just getting nowhere, and they're trying to take on too much. She wants to be that caseworker that tells them what their caseworker is not, what and these caseworkers should be, they're supposed to be like your support team. Like if you have an open case with CPS, and from my understanding and everything that I've read, and even, I mean, and I've read it over and over and over. I mean, I have it saved on my computer, and I go back and it's a little brochure, and it talks about what the whole thing with CPS and the foster care and the whole timeline, not the timeline, but what steps are. And when I tell you, actually, I got it off the Children Information Gateway, Child Welfare Information Gateway, actually, and they sent me out the pamphlet. So this has got to be. It's not just the United States, so it's got to be everywhere. If it came out, and it's a pamphlet they sent me, and but it backed up what was here in Georgia as well. That these caseworkers should be yours. I mean, in a what we would think would be, okay, so this is an open case. You're being something you're not doing right in your family or whatnot. It could be an area of your weekend that maybe you struggle with. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you're, I mean, because a lot of us are at the poverty level. A lot of us, neglect is such a broad subject. Like, what is their definition of neglect? And it's so broad that it could be, and a bunch of these neglect cases are because of poverty, not enough food. The kids may have been like dirty when they get, I mean, but you can't go, that's not fair. That's not right. Neglect should be a narrowed down to, not a broad subject of many things, especially not having food. Okay, well, why isn't that? So back to, let me stay focused. I'm sorry, y'all. Here we go. I'm 5 different places. So, these caseworkers should be like attached at your hip. Like y'all are supposed to be like, kind of like, I'm not going to say best friends, but they're supposed to be like your accountability partner. They're supposed to be there to build you up and strengthen you in the areas that you're weak, that you're struggling with, that have brought this case about, and get you to where you get back up to being reunified with your family, with your children. I don't see that happening at all. Reunification is absolutely not what they're doing, because look at my case. Everything. Why have they not reunified my family? I even got kinship that's been approved. And my son's an adult. He's 19. He's autistic. And they still have not brought my son back home. My family members have even been approved. So what's the holdup? There should be no holdup. My family's home, I'll tell you, is they have no history. They have and my aunt has had foster children before. So what is no hiccups, no dilemmas, no roadblocks, nothing with my family. And it's been over a year now. We are sitting at a year that even my kin, and my son is still, this is the 3rd Christmas that I've missed, that I've had to see my son over a video screen. It's not like I can just walk out my door and hop, skip, and jump and I'm there, and they, and Chris, you're right, they don't. And there is bad apples. There is a lot, but there's so many bad apples in this system. Like, it's absolutely, but why? What are they being, and it makes you wonder what, I want to know what they're being taught, like through their training. I want to know what their curriculum is. Because I can tell you, a lot of them are probably not even licensed social workers. So if they're supposed to, and they take, I think psychology is one of their classes, and because it's a clinical, and then a licensed clinical social worker, and then there's I forgot what the other one is, as LCSW, and then our case manager. But they're supposed to look out for the best interest of you and your child, like to keep the family together, families first. And the foster care is the last resort. If they have exhausted all other efforts, that is their job, whether they're overloaded, whether or not. And you are right, lawyer up. Do not trust them. Don't trust them. No, because they can take something as soon as they get your trust and they know that they got you like that. There's no telling what they're going to do. They can tell you one thing, and because I'm facing this right now, they can tell you one thing off record, but as soon as you go in that courtroom, I promise it's going to be something totally different. Like, they are going to make you out to be someone that you have but yet yesterday you were told that it was going great and that everything was in program and that you're okay and you're going to get your kid back. And now you're sitting in front of a judge in a courtroom with everybody there, and you're being told that that you refuse this, and this, and they tried to offer you, but yet you only seen your caseworker one time. So how is that right? You're thinking you're on the right track and you're working towards getting reunified with your family or your child. I'm not going to say family because that sounds like I've been away, but it's our children. Our children are the ones that are detained. It's like they're in prison, just like prison. When it's like they are being punished as a child for what? What? I mean, really, if you think about it, everyone, that is exactly. It's like an adult that gets in trouble and go to jail, and it's just it's just and it's wrong. But our children are being punished. Why? My mother passed away unexpectedly. She was his guardian. And the way my son and the way the whole thing went down, the way it all the things that happened just in a matter of 3 months, my son thought he was being punished. Like he just, and he still don't understand. He's not ever, unless somebody explains it to him. When I tell you right now, when my son entered foster care, they thought he was an orphan, like literally an orphan, like no family at all. And it was crazy, and all because of hearsay. Why punish? What did that child do? Just because they may not have enough food in that refrigerator, you're gonna put that child through so much trauma. You're gonna take them from the only home they've ever known since birth, and then the only family they've known, the only people they've known, the community, and send a child to a total different environment, to a totally different world, to a totally different area, away from their community, away from their comfort, away from their family, alone, not hearing. I mean, it's just like when you're in jail, in a detention center, and you are awaiting your prison sentence to go off to prison. You are waiting. It is just like, wow. And I'm thinking about that. Right. And how can they do that? How is that okay? I don't get it. I really don't. You don't trust them. That's right. And with these caseworkers, they're supposed to have, what is it? In a criminal case, you have to have. It's okay. Thanks for joining me, Darren. I see you. But you have to have so these caseworkers, and when you read the pamphlets that I've read, you would think that at first, I can tell you right now, when my case first started, and I didn't know nothing. I knew nothing. So I'll tell you my thoughts. This is what I thought. And now it's totally, I'm like, wow. What I read I was convinced, and I really thought that it was for the good. I really thought, I said, man, I'll have my son home, and he'll be back home. He'll be back with us in 2 months, 3 months. I said, I can do this. My goal, I wanted my son home within my parenting class, everything. And it did not, I thought that I was going to be like, I would be able to call this lady and her, if I have any questions, because I didn't know what was going on. My son was sent out of state. Nobody was telling me anything. And she did not talk to me. I was alone. I was by myself. Nobody knew what to tell me. They were trying to be supportive. Friends, family, I was lost. And I'm sure there's other parents at the beginning. I was lost because what I read was not being done in reality. I mean, from my understanding, this pamphlet is telling me, and this paperwork is telling me, or even the internet telling me that, and what I'm being told by the people in the office or, in court, what I'm being told is that I should be able to depend on the caseworker to guide me. And they're supposed to be the resource to help me to get back up to where whatever I'm struggling with. Let's say if I needed a job or a better housing or something, they're supposed to help you with the resources to get to that spot of why your case was opened up in the first place. So whatever you're struggling with. So why is that not being done? Oh, but they tell you in court they offer you services. When? Because I'm still at the same spot I was when the case first opened. So like, what happened? What's up? We haven't moved anywhere. But yet she goes in and she tells you that, oh yeah, you're doing, but I seen it with my own eyes. Like nothing's progressing. Nothing. Hi, Miss Gill. How are you? Starting your New Year's. Right. We're starting the new year off great. Going at voicing ourselves. Yes, ma'am. Got to protect these babies. Got to save these babies. These are our children. These are our future. And I'm so thankful and so grateful that there are more people speaking out. I love it. And so keep spreading the word. Keep share our lives out. Come join us. Come. We got the more voices, the more we're being heard. I mean, because I can tell you, I've seen the impact, and the more people are speaking out, they're hearing us. They are. It's not as quick as we want it to be. Trust me. I mean, I would love for this stuff it to be done, but it's pack it up. One is tough, but a group is unstoppable. So there we are. Pack it up, parents. Let's come aboard. Let's do this. Let's pack it up and ship this out. Like get CPS the changes and the reform it needs, because this is nationwide, but it's not only nationwide. This is worldwide. Like I have friends in the UK that are going through, and we have it bad here. Over there, other places, it's anything that happens to a child is just, it's wrong. It's dead wrong. And no child they should be able to live a life as a child and be happy and no worry in the world, no worry ever. They should not have to worry about tomorrow, where they're going to live or what food they're going to be able to eat. That is us as parents. We want a family. Well, we learn as we go, but no child should ever have to worry about that at a young age. And I know life is hard, but there are people, that we can, I never thought that there was so many people that would help. All you got to do is reach out. We'll help each other. Trust me. And I do want to say this, if anyone's ever struggling, please reach out. You can email your story or even just email us in general to the CPSV Hunting Justice at gmail.com. It's at the bottom of the screen right here. You can tell us if you want to come on the show. CPSV Hunting Justice at gmail.com. Email us, talk to us. If you're there's 988, if that's ever a dilemma that you may be facing, don't just know that you are not alone. You aren't. And my son, he even I have to play his video that I made. It's he says, be yourself. Don't let these people. My son had to learn. He had to find himself again. And remember, and this is what Miss Gill said. Remember, you got to keep going. Don't depend on them. Their way or way for them, because that's where they have more power against you. Parents, you're powerful. You have no idea. You do not realize how powerful you are. Remember, we the people. We're unstoppable. You have the power. Let's get the knowledge. Knowledge is power, and let's share. we come together and we got this. I promise. It's going to be a change. 2025, we're here. It's happening, and here's the first day, and here we go. I hope they're ready. It's they have no idea. They know they hear us, and they know we ain't playing no more. These are our kids. These are our babies. I'm going to protect your child just like I'm going to protect mine. I'm going to protect my neighbor's kids, this group's kids, anybody's kid. If I hear a kid holler out for help, I'm there no matter what. Lawyer up. These people manipulate your brain to make you think you did. It's also, yes, reverse psychology. And why would they? But and Miss Gill, I'm glad you said that about manipulate. They do manipulate, and the people. So it could start out with an anonymous person calling, saying something just because they're mad at you, but it affects our kids, our families. But yesterday everything was fine, and today, like, it's like you don't even know where it comes from. Nothing. And I mean, it's and they don't tell you anything. They don't even tell the kids anything. I mean, and the parents that have been through where I can just imagine. I couldn't. My son is my hero. That's my hero, and I will stand for this and back any parent up, because no child should be detained in a facility or locked away and forgotten about and unheard. Who represents these children? If we're not allowed, if we can't speak out for them, well, guess what? It's too late. We're here. As parents, we're waking up. Don't let them bully you. Do not let them bully you. Look at the kids that go through, I mean, bullying. They're adults, and if they're allowed to get away with this, what do you think these kids are getting away with in the school systems? Like, bullying. Look at all the school shootings. I mean, it's not cool. It's not cool. They learn from us. And if we get away with it, why can't they, right? That's not cool. This is our future. Is this really how don't be scared of these people. Don't. You are the parent. That is your family, your child. It's not theirs. No person belongs to be locked away and forgotten about. They're people too. They have life. They're a living person, human body. They're mind. Each person's different, but they're still breathing. They're still there. They're here with us. They're our own flesh. Why can't they be treated like they're someone? Their lives matter too. Okay, Miss. We'll be back on this evening. On the I believe the Tip and Punisher show is this evening at 7, I believe, Eastern time, and then there's a show at 10 tonight, and I think what is today? Today's Wednesday. Wow. So yeah, but I'm gonna have to get going. But yeah, so y'all have a good, and I'll be back. I'm gonna try to do a show. I'll try to do a show at midnight tonight. How about that? So I can catch up with y'all. But I will see y'all. Let's join the show, Tip and Punisher show at 7, and then the show at 10 p.m. Eastern time. I'll see y'all. I'll send a notification out. Y'all be good. Bye, everyone. See y'all next time.
Across the borders where they divide, families waiting with open arms to shield them from all worldly harm. Through the bridges of Georgia's care, they're reaching out, but life ain't fair. Isolation's heavy